All right, y'all. It's gonna be 100 players, man. Just brace yourself, man. I'm not going on basketball reference or nothing like that. I'm just gonna say what I remember from the players or whatever when I name them. I'm gonna do. I do basketball. I'm gonna do top 100 football too, but this is not in no order. I separated by point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and then I put power forward and center in one category. So big man, so power forwards and center, small forwards, shooting guards, and point guard. I'm gonna go in that order too. I'm gonna get the big man out the way because when I hoop, I'm a guard, so it's mostly guards on this list. So out of the 100, it's 24 big man. So everybody that play power forward or small forward. So let's go through some big men real quick. That's some of my favorite to ever play the game. And it's gonna be a lot of people from now too, because now there's some talented players now. Karl Anthony Towns, the dude can shoot threes, post up, mid range. I just like him, man. He balls out, man. He's fun to watch. I love him, man. He shoots 7 threes a game this year, 7.9, and shooting 41%. That was off the top. I can't even. I'm not looking at nothing. I'm just gonna go through it. Lamar Odom. Just those championship years with the Lakers and the Clippers with the Clippers with Darius Miles and Q Rich. Shout out to them too. They didn't make the list, but those my boys, man. Check out Knuckleheads, Q Rich and Darius Miles. I don't know why Q Rich didn't make my list because I kind of hoop like a little bit like him, but Lamar Odom, like I said, those Lakers years with my boy Kobe, my favorite player of all time. So him helping Kobe get those championships, man. That's my dude, Lamar Odom. Left-handed dude, 6'10", a beast. Draymond Green. He's from Saginaw. I went to Saginaw Valley State University, so we used to do Saginaw High versus Saginaw Arthur Hill. And the game used to be at our court. There was a lot of great players that come out of those schools. Shout out to those high schools. But Draymond Green, I like him because he got heart. He was with the Warriors. Warriors, one of my favorite teams. He helped with that dynasty, man. Without him, great defender and everything. Next, I got Kristaps Porzingis, 7'3", man. Basically, even Dirk said like he was better than him at that age. 7'3", can run the floor, shoot, post up, play defense. Sometimes he'll play power forward and still tip the ball, jump the ball on the tip off. But it's obvious he's 7'3". I love Porzingis, watching Porzingis, man. Joel Embiid is next. Joel Embiid, same as Karl Anthony Towns, but a better defender. Oh man, Towns would put up numbers, but I think Embiid be destroying guys, man, and then tweeting about it. I just like him, man. Anthony Davis, I've been a fan since high school. I think he averaged 32 and 20, 32 points, 20 rebounds, and then made the McDonald's All-American game. Anthony Davis is a beast, man. We already know. Kevin Love, dominated in Minnesota, helped LeBron get that chip. So LeBron on this list, so I'm pretty sure I'm helping LeBron get that ring. Love just a talented player, man. He be going off sometimes, man, with the shooting. He just was a killer in Minnesota. The next person, of course, he's not as good as the other guys, but Tim Thomas. I like Tim Thomas. He played with Phoenix for Steve Nash and them. Like I love Tim Thomas, man. He got a nice little mid-range shot, 3-pointers. Like I remember he hit that shot basically at the end of the series against the Lakers. What's that, game 6? It was game 6 in LA in 06. The Lakers were up 3-1, and then the Lakers were up 3-2, and then basically they didn't win that game. They had to go back to Phoenix for game 7. So Tim Thomas got the ball. He made somebody jump. He stepped to the side and hit a 3. Then that's when Kobe hit the ball so hard and hit it against the rim, like the back part of the rim, the padding. And Kobe was mad. And it was like, dang, that's when I knew the series was over. Tim Thomas is a pretty good player to me, man. I just like Tim Thomas. I'm a fan of Tim Thomas. I think he was the top 3 high school players with Jermaine O'Neal and Kobe in 96, the class of 96. So, yeah. I got Tim Duncan. That's obvious. Tim Duncan, I grew up with those battles with him and KG, and then the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, the Blazers. Duncan is it's obvious. Kevin Garnett is on there too. We already know Kevin Garnett is great too. He won MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year. Antoine Walker, just those battles with just in the East with Paul Pierce, and they had I think his name Walter McCarthy. He was a good player too to me. Paul Pierce, Kenny Anderson. Shout out to Kenny Anderson. Then I got Rasheed Wallace. I I was a fan in Portland. Then he got my Pistons that ring. He helped my Pistons get that ring in 04. Post player, can shoot. Good defender. Then even in Boston in 2010, he helped them get to this championship. He filled in for Perkins good in Game 7. I think he had like 13 or 14 points, something like that. Elton Brand, he played with Cassell in them with the Clippers. That was one of the only relevant Clipper teams, but Elton Brand is a good player. Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is underrated. He's a dog in Toronto. And then Miami, I enjoy watching those Miami games. Nice little left-handed jumper, man. Chris Webber, he's a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan fan. And then plus he played in those years when I grew up with the Kings, man, with Stojakovic and all them. I forgot to put him on here. That's all right. Then I got yeah, I'm gonna push Stojakovic. I'm gonna take somebody out. I got Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire is very great. I just like the way he just be dunking on people, man. It's just Amari with that pick and roll with Steve Nash was unstoppable. Dwight Howard, speak for itself, man. I think he won 3 or 4 Defensive Player of the Years. The boy's a beast. Marcus Aldridge, I like the nice turnaround jumper, and who's good in Portland and San Antonio too. Marc Gasol and Paul Gasol, the brothers. They just so fundamental and great in the post. Gasol, of course, Marc Gasol is a better defender. Paul Gasol is better in the post. He got the nice touch, man. He helped Kobe get those 2 championships. He was even good in Memphis for a lot of years. Patrick Ewing was one of the best. Patrick Ewing was one of the best players I've seen in the '90s too with the Knicks. And then Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream Shake, the domination. Same with Shaq, dominated, helped my boy Kobe get 3 chips. And then Dirk, one of the best shooters ever at power forward. So, yeah. Actually, I know it's the end of the video. I'm just gonna do I broke it up, so I'm just break the videos up. I'm not about to do it. I want people to pick what they want to pick. But these are my favorite power forwards and centers of all time. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. It's not even important. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep going. Small forwards, Peja Stojakovic, one of the best shooters ever. I liked him in the battles with the Lakers. Paul George, that's obvious. It's obvious Paul George is my top 100 favorite players of all time. Just that dunk he did on Birdman and the dunk through the legs, like slam, and I think he did a 360, something like that. Like it was just Paul George is great, man. I like the way he shoot the ball. His last year with OKC, I think he made first team All-NBA and first team defense, averaged 28 in the playoffs in the regular season. He defends, he scores, everything. Jimmy Butler, that's my guy too, Jimmy Buckets. Jason Tatum, he playing right now, but I've been a fan since Duke. I'm a Duke basketball fan too, so just Tatum is obvious. Carmelo Anthony is one of the beasts. Just his skill set. Paul Pierce, the Finals Wars with Kobe, the small forward wars with Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, was shooting guard too. Trevor Ariza, 2009, man, I never forget that game. I think it was game either 2 or 3. Ariza was going off, man, against the Magic in the finals. Derek, I'm sorry, Rose. I wrote Rose down. I got Rose down twice, but the small forward Jalen Rose, the one that's on ESPN. He went to Detroit Southwestern. He was good in high school. College, he went to University of Michigan. That's my school. Basically my favorite school, basically, as far as like athletics. He played for the Patriots. I was a fan of him. He was my favorite player, like on those Pacers teams with Rick Smits, Reggie Miller, Travis Best. He's pretty good. Kawhi Leonard, he playing right now. Finals MVP last year. Speak for himself. I love the way he played. Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's unstoppable, man. I love Giannis. He's a nice guy off the court, man. I heard cool guy. Steven Jackson, the clutchness, the defense, the competitiveness. I think he always give Kobe his props, man. He be setting people straight to try to disrespect Kobe on Fox Sports or whatever. Like, he's a beast. Ron Artest, Metal World Peace. Again, played with Kobe, 2010 championship. a great defender. Andre Iguodala played for one of my favorite teams, the Warriors, Finals MVP. Big Dog Glenn Robinson, he played with Ray Allen and Cassell in the 2000s. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2001 too. A lot of people probably don't know that. Latrell Sprewell with the Knicks, when he was with the Knicks, and well, I didn't really see the Warriors, but the Knicks, he was good. Then check out Sprewell highlights, man. He was a good player too. Grant Hill, he played for the Pistons, so that's part of the reason. Scottie Pippen could post up, do everything. Kevin Durant, he probably my second favorite player ever behind Kobe, but we already know Kevin Durant is a beast. Vince Carter and LeBron James. I'm just like Vince Carter and LeBron. LeBron and KD get a lot of love all the time from me. On my channel, go check the videos out. I just don't. There's no need to say it. Like LeBron is obvious, KD is obvious. Vince Carter, to me, best dunk contest dunker. I think best in game too. There's a lot of great dunkers like Gerald Green, though, Dominique Wilkins, Derrick Jones Jr., guys like that. Shooting guards, I got Larry Hughes. He played for the Wizards with Gilbert and them, and Caron Butler. Larry Hughes was a good player. Brandon Roy was a beast. Hershey Hawkins, he played with Gary Payton in '96. He was one of the best defenders, shooting guards ever. Probably top 10. Eric Gordon, I've been a fan of him since Indiana in college. He went to Indiana University. I got Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is one of my favorite players ever. Top 5 shooter ever. Allen Iverson, I grew up on Iverson. He's a beast. J.R. Smith, I like J.R. Smith when he's with the Nuggets. My favorite JR, probably Nuggets, and I still like them with the Cavs and the Knicks. My 2 favorite JRs is the Knicks, number 1, and then he averaged 18 and he averaged 18 points a game off the bench, man. One of the best 6-man ever. Bradley Beal, one of my favorite players right now. Devin Booker, they top 100 for sure. Favorite. Steve Smith, I met him in person before. He's a beast. Steve Smith, he had that move where he spin like that, fake spin and go to the baseline. He was 6'8", played point guard, shooting guard, small forward. I think he even got a couple championships, if I'm not mistaken. He played for the Spurs too in the Heat. Allen Houston, great, man, lethal shooter, man. He shot 40% for his career from 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., he was my favorite player at Michigan. He's my favorite player over Trey Burke and Glenn Robinson and Mitch McGary and what's they have? Mitch McGary. And Nick Stauskas, like, that's probably my second favorite on that team, probably, or third behind Burt. But I got Rip Hamilton with those Pistons, 04 Pistons championship. Tracy McGrady was one of my favorite players at one point. Favorite players in the league. Like, I liked him over Kobe back in the day. Jamal Crawford, he went to Michigan, another Michigan guy. He's a beast. Weird, 6-man. Top 100 favorite players. Joe Johnson, a great shooter, 6'7", could post up, turnaround jumper. Average 20 like in his sleep, basically, man. Mitch Richmond, one of the most underrated players. James Harden. I just became a fan of Harden like last year, honestly. Dwayne Wade. He was one of my favorite players in high school. I remember in like 2006, 2005. Reggie Miller is one of my favorite. He's a lethal scorer as far as 3-pointers. Michael Jordan and Kobe, that's obvious. Kobe, my favorite all time. And Jordan, I didn't get to see much of him, but probably from like I'd probably say 96, 97, 98 finals. And then a little bit with the Wizards. But even if the Wizards, Jordan's still top 100 probably. My favorite players. Because he still averaged like 22 and 21 a game. White Chocolate, Jason Williams. Jason Williams was great, man. One of the best, to me, top 5 ball handlers ever. Probably top 20 passers. He could pass real good. I said top 20. That's probably... I'm just trying to make sure I get him in there. That boy Jason Williams, the beast, played with the Kings. I think he played for the Grizzlies too. Brandon Jennings, I remember he put up 55 points in the game at that height, being that small, left-handed guy. He went to Oak Hill High School. I seen him in high school, and then he played 1 year overseas, and then came to the NBA. He basically Jennings go down in history because he basically set a trend doing that. I think Jennings was the first one to go overseas for 1 year when they made the high school rule, because people think, like, what I'm going to do? I don't want to go to college. Okay, just go overseas, play 1 year, play with some pros. You might not average as much points because you're playing against grown men, but you end up making a championship. Making an NBA. Nick Van Exel, left-handed again, beast, point guard slash, he's a 2. He played like the 2. Sam Cassell, he was good. He used to post up and everything. Derrick Rose, that's obvious, man. Derrick Rose was so great, man. I remember the game against the was it the Heat? It was the Heat. He had three amazing dunks in one game. The one when he split the double team and dunked on Joel Anthony. It was one where he basically got the rebound and went all the way up the court. Even LeBron had a head start. He still passed him up and just dunked it. And then he had another one where Chalmers basically grabbed him. He tried to reach because he got beat, and then Rose still dunked on him. Like Rose was beat. He dunked on. Remember he dunked on what's the guy name? I think it was Goran Dragic in Phoenix with two hands. That was a beast. He won the league MVP too. Tony Parker. For me, it's just 1 year he led it in points in the paint a bunch of times, so a few times. And he was a high percentage shooter as far as mid range. And Tony Parker was destroying Gary Payton. Now, not Gary Payton on this list, but he was older though still. But Tony Parker was destroying everybody that won. I think it was like 07. He won Finals MVP. Parker's a beast. Drew Holiday, one of my favorite players. He could score, play defense, and he went to UCLA. That's one of my favorite basketball schools. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving probably top 6 or 7 all time. Kyrie Irving is obvious. Trae Young, he's a young guy playing right now. This is second year in the league. He averaged 29.9 assists. Mario Chalmers. I just like Chalmers because he clutch, man. Like he put up 25 in the finals game. And I can't remember which one. One of those finals years with Miami, the 4 years. Chalmers was a starting point guard. He get his props, man. Dude can shoot threes. Then I went to the McDonald's All-American game that he was in. I think it was like 06. It was him, Lewis Williams, Monte Ellis. Yeah, Lou Williams on his list too. Speaking of Lou Williams, he was in that McDonald's game too. He's like the sixth man, like one of the best six man ever. Kevin Johnson, underrated. He was good with Phoenix. I was real young though. Then John Wall, that's obvious. So he's top 10 favorite players right now. So he got to be top 100 all time. Rajon Rondo, just the way he played in the playoffs and the triple doubles, the competitive drive, the killer will, the killer instinct. Rondo, man. His passing ability is great, man. He's just as good as Nash to me as a passer. Rod Strickland, scorer, could do everything basically. Strickland, I seen him training Durant like recently, so yeah. Shout out to Rod Strickland. Damian Lillard, he's a beast. This is obvious. Damian Lillard, Gilbert Arenas, they had a little debate about that too. Gilbert just was hurt, but I think he averaged 29 back-to-back years. Gilbert put up 60 on Kobe, and even Kobe admitted that Gilbert was destroying him. Deron Williams, it was at one point where he was debated. It was debate between him and Chris Paul for the best point guards in the league. Now, a lot of people think Deron Williams was better, but we know how good he was. I got Marcus Smart on here. I was a fan of Oklahoma State. Then his NBA draft workout, you could check that out. That was sweet. I think it was 2014. I like Smart because he got heart, man. He could shoot. He's an excellent defender right now. He's one of the top 5 probably defenders on the perimeter, like point guard or like guards. He could defend. Tim Hardaway missed a crossover with the through the legs crossover. Chauncey Billups, Finals MVP for my Pistons in 04. Andre Miller was a beast. Always was top 5 in assists per game in his prime. Baron Davis, so athletic, so good. One of the first point guards that I really liked growing up. Stephon Marbury, same thing. Marbury and BD, we could debate, but I think Marbury's a little better than BD. But BD was great. Like, I guess you go prime for prime, but Marbury was so good with the Nets, man. Like, y'all gotta go look at the numbers. Then I got 3 Currys. Dale Curry. He was a great shooter. I remember he was with the Hornets and the Raptors. I used to play 2K and live and all that, and played with Dale Curry. Dale Curry's a great shooter. He's a smart player. Then Steph Curry. I'm a fan of Steph Curry. He did good at Duke, and he's just a cool guy, man. Then Steph Curry, he's one of my top 5 favorite players ever. That's obvious. Unanimous MVP in 2016. Penny Hardaway on here. I grew up on him with that Orlando team. Penny Hardaway, Dennis Scott, Nick Anderson, Horace Grant, and Shaq. One of the best teams ever to me. 96. And then Steve Nash is on here. Steve Nash is an animal, man. Like, I was a fan back then, but I was a Kobe fan, so I kind of like used to be biased towards Nash. Like, oh, he should have won MVP, and I used to be like, oh no, he's not that good. I used to be saying that, but I knew Nash was good. Like, I went back and watched some games. Like, I watched Jason Kidd versus Nash. It was like a 06 game or something. Kidd was with the Nets. Kidd was balling. Nash was balling. It's just two different styles. Jason Kidd is next on this list too. I did a comparison. Nash. If you want to watch somebody shoot threes, and run the offense good, it's Nash. But if you want to watch somebody that can defend, get triple doubles, leadership, and he's a bigger point guard. J Kidd, you can watch J Kidd. J Kidd been in 2 finals with the Nets. He led 2 teams to finals with the Nets. They lost to the Shaq and Kobe Lakers and the Duncan Spurs. And then he won a championship with the Mavericks in 05. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said Jason Terry for the shooting guard, but Jason Terry, that's why my nickname in college in intramural basketball. So shout out to Jay Terry, the Jet. Chris Paul, he was my favorite Chris Paul with the Hornets. I didn't really like him that much with the Clippers. He was like Hornets, he was like one of my favorite players besides Kobe. Russell Westbrook, he in my top 10 probably favorite all time. I love the killer instinct. I love the heart, everything. Gary Payton. Gary Payton is on there for sure. The glove, Gary Payton. I used to idolize him basically when I was in high school playing basketball because I played guard. I was like 5'8", 5'9". I was like 5'9" in high school, like 9th grade, not 10th grade. And I looked up to Gary Payton. And then the 5 guys I probably looked up to: Gary Payton, probably T-Mac, Kobe, Larry Hughes, honestly, and Rip. Just Larry Hughes, Rip, T-Mac, probably Kobe, and Gary Payton. Those probably was the 5 that I tried to play like. But I like Allen Houston too. But that's the 100 players, man. I'm not gonna recap it, but that's it, man. 100 favorite players.